What's going on, ladies and worms? How y'all doing today? So I wanted to talk about, how social media, like Facebook, Instagram, and everything, can destroy people's lives. Which we can use it for a good way, or we can use it as a bad way, right? So I wrote something down, you know, and I had to recite it over and over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and write it down. Well, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you guys what I wrote down about social media. You know, in this age of social media, what would you say to young people? It is hard for young people are addictive. It is a tool we should use. It's a free will, but it's magnified. Free will on it's on steroids. But you allow to go in any direction you want. It is not the enemy, it's just a reflect of our own free will. We all want to be liked, right? We all want to be liked. We have 16 or 17 million that want to be on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Can social media destroy us? Yeah, it can. It can destroy us because why? We have that mind capacity. I was just talking to my cousin about it. And I asked him, I said, about social media, about Facebook, Instagram. He said, well, we can use it in a good way and we can use it in a bad way. Everything has their pros and cons in social media. It does. It has our, you know, in life, I look at it like this. It's like you have kids now that are like 2 years old that can actually use the internet. It is amazing how kids can do this. I mean, because back then, I didn't have Facebook, Instagram. There was no such thing as Twitter, TikTok. There was no such thing as that. It was like, hey, let's go out there and play Ninja Turtles. Or let's go out there and play some football. After that, we can go in the house and we can play Nintendo. It was all about that. Can social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, can all that destroy our lives? People say, yeah, you can use it in a good way or you can use it in a bad way, but you got to think about the dangers of it. Just like I just deleted, my Facebook account. I didn't even want it no more. I said, nah, you know what? Because it's actually an addiction. It is an addiction problem that's going on right now because I see all this stuff, man. I mean, I be seeing multiple women, showing, their breasts and butts and all that. I'm not saying that most guys say, oh man, something wrong with you. I mean, hey, I get tired of that. I get tired of looking at that. Facebook. We all want to be like, especially if you have 16 million people or 12,000 people looking at you. Because to me, I look at like Instagram, Facebook is like it's a problem. Can we be addicted to these things? Yeah, we could be addicted. We could be straight up addicted because what's the first thing some people do? The majority of people do, they get on their phones. They scroll down, they looking at everything. They're trying to see, how many likes I got, how many, hearts I got. It doesn't make any sense to me. Well, and the reason why I say it can be a problem is because it's like alcohol. It's like weed addiction. We have to smoke. We got to drink. We got to do something to fulfill us and what we got to do. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's the same thing. It's like alcohol. It's a very dangerous thing. It's an addiction problem. You can cause presidents to get elected. You can cause presidents to get unelected. You can cause wars to happen. Because why? We feed off this stuff. We actually feed off this type of stuff. You know, our minds are so focused on because why? We want to be entertained. We all want to be entertained. We see nothing but violence. We see nothing but hate. We see nothing but crimes that's being committed. Um, we see nothing but prejudice in this world. Because, like I said, back then, I didn't have all that type of stuff. We don't sit around the dinner tables. We don't interact with families. We don't talk. I mean, it's like you're in a relationship. You have boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever your spouse. What's the first thing they do? They get on their phones. They start texting, tweeting. Is it dangerous? Yeah, it could be dangerous in a way. It could be dangerous in a way. And that's how I look at it. It's dangerous. Because we based off our lives off that type of stuff. We based off our lives off of Instagram. We based off our lives off of Facebook. We based off our lives off of Twitter. I mean, you look at the president. This man tweets every single day. Is it affecting this man? Yeah. Can it affect us? Yeah. Because that's what we do. The first thing we don't tell our spouses, hey, good morning. How you doing? No, how many likes I got today? How many responses I have today? It's so easy. It's so easy. But we don't sit around the dinner table and talk. We don't interact. We don't spend time with the people that we really love. But we want to see people from a distance. It's actually crazy. And we allow these things to happen in our lives because it can affect. It could be a powerful tool. A very powerful tool. So, is it the people that's causing, the ones who made all this stuff, made it an addiction? Yeah. We say, well, it's a manipulative thing in our mind. Sometimes we have to just train our thought. Like me, I took off my Facebook. I literally deleted it. Took it off. Instagram too, because even I have that problem. Even I will go and sit down and in the morning I'll wake up and I'm like, what's on here? What's popping? Let me see. Let me scroll down. Let me see how many likes I got, how many comments. And I'm like, man, it's so depressing. See, some people can get so much in a depressing state of mind because why? We all want to be like. So we have to act like what the world wants. The world doesn't want to see us talk about good things, about God and, and Jesus and, and things that we actually doing good. No, they're so addicted to the poison mind about the violence and who's fighting, what's this, what's that, products. Social media is a dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous thing. So I've learned myself to just train my mind, train my thought, just get away from all that. To me, Instagram and Facebook is just, it's like a divide and it's like a division. It divides us from everything. The young people, like I said, it's like alcohol. Back then, we had to ask for permission just so when we were young or when we were 19, can we drink? No, we pull out that alcohol from that cabinet. That's how it is. There's no restrictions with cell phones and Instagrams and Facebooks and Twitters that young people do. And we wonder why we see our young people acting the way they act, even adults. And we wonder, we like, why is my child acting the way they're acting? Because we're so hooked upon, based off what other people are doing. So if we don't have the fancy cars in life, we got to take a picture in front of somebody's car and say, this is mine. So we have to go to fancy places or dress right just so we can get the likes. Is social media messing up our lives? Yes, it is. Because look, you have, you have, even on TV, you even see like mass medias using all this Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and it causes wars, it causes crimes. If somebody doesn't like what you're saying, they ready to just come out and just attack you. But if instead of us being into the Word of God, and instead of us focusing on the mind and the things that we need to process and to get things focused, no, we're so busy of just attacking the Instagram and Facebook and Twitter because we based our lives off of that. That's what our life is. And people that made this Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, they knew what they were doing. It's poisonous. It's poisonous. To me, it's like a landfill. It's like a dump. We're not getting no knowledge. We're really not. We just want to see what other people are doing. Because let's say if I bought a Jaguar and I took a picture of it, you already know. But if I was to buy a Jaguar a year from now, you'd be like, man, when did you get that? You would have never known. And a lot of times people say, well, I don't want to be, I don't like nobody in my business. I don't want nobody knowing what I'm doing or where I'm going. Why do you post it? If you don't want nobody to know what you're doing in life, then don't post nothing. Don't say nothing. It's like a fat person. They eat, they eat, they eat, they eat, they eat. Well, you don't want to be fat. Just don't eat that much. So I challenge people out there and I say, you know what? Just turn off your social media. Social media, like I said, it could be used for good or not. There's a lot of people that want to use social media to put on their music. They want people to hear their production. I produced this, I wrote this, I'm this and I'm that. Okay, that's cool. But there's others out there that can mimic you and copy you. There's others out there that feel bad because why? They're not like the other person. There's a lot of more suicide rates than anything. There's more crime than anything. It could be good, but it could be more evil because that's what we see. We see more entertainment. This is what the world wants. They want to see the entertainment. We see violence. We see hatred. We see all that. That's what they want. But I've learned to just train my mind. I said, you know what? I don't want to deal with that no more. I really don't, because it's not good for me. It's really not good for me. And that's not what I want. So this is all I wanted to say to America and to around the people and to around the globe. This is all I wanted to say. That, hey, be careful what you say, be careful what you do on social media, because it can affect you in the long run, and it really can. A lot of times we're not awoke. We're still asleep. We're still asleep. Be awoke to this. Train your thought, train your mind. I can't tell everybody stop using social media because that's what they're going to do. This is what people love to do. Because, it's like, like I said, if you had a spouse or or anybody, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, husband, wives, whatever. First thing we want to do, we want to look at that social media. We want to just scroll down, see what's going on, seeing this and that. There's no talking no more. There's no sitting around the dinner table and say, "Hey, how you been? Doing this and doing that." Yeah, I mean, people want to look at families and friends and long distance relationship. They want to see everything what's going on. But I look at this social media, it's like poison to the mind. We're not focused on God. We're not. People say, yeah, I read the Bible longer than you. I was born longer than you. I've done, but still, where is America at right now? America is just, to me, America is a social media. It's all fun and games. But this is all I wanted to say. I'm Stephen Paul, and I'm signing out. Love you guys. Thank you all for watching.